This is shocking. Bull smashes into children at an Easter festival in Spain. Let's
Okay,
deep
so
dive.
you flagged a truly um, disturbing piece for us. It's about the Toro de Aleluya festival. In Spain, Arcos de la Frontera.
That's right. Happened just this past Saturday, during the Easter celebrations, actually.
And the headline, I mean, it's just shocking. A bull breaking through a barrier, charging into a crowd, and children getting hurt. We really need to sort of unpack this.
Absolutely. The timing, Easter, it creates this really stark contrast with the violence that actually happened and immediately makes you question the tradition itself and, well, the risks.
Yeah, the festival, the article explains it involves these four bulls, the Hallelujah bulls.
Mm-hmm.
They run through the streets, and apparently they're symbolically spared. It represents Christ's mercy,
Right.
supposedly.
That's the symbolism.
But you read that and just think, oh, what's it actually like for the animals?
Mm.
Running through a noisy, crowded town seems stressful.
That's a really crucial point, isn't it? While it's framed as mercy, the reality for the bulls, being chased, agitated, it's likely a very, very different experience. This incident really forces you to confront that tension.
And this specific bull, Infinito, nearly half a ton, the article says.
Huge animal.
And what really struck me was that he was apparently highly agitated immediately.
Right.
From the moment they let him out of the transport crate.
Yes, not a gradual thing at all. Immediate aggression.
Right.
And that detail, it's significant. It kind of suggests a pre-existing state of high stress, maybe, which would definitely contribute to how things unfolded so quickly. It makes you wonder about the handling, the precautions beforehand.
Or a lack thereof, maybe.
Possibly.
And then, well, the really awful part, Infinito breaks through what the article calls a flimsy wooden barrier.
Flimsy, that word stands.
It does. And he goes straight for the children, who are apparently brought to the front for a better view, presumably.
Well, it's just heartbreaking.
And the article says they were gored and tossed. It's almost impossible to picture the terror of that moment.
The fact that children were the first targets, it's incredibly distressing. And it raises serious questions about safety protocols, spectator placement, especially for kids,
Definitely. What about that description? Flimsy wooden barrier.
Right.
Against a half-ton agitated bull.
It sounds completely inadequate, doesn't it? It doesn't exactly inspire confidence. You have to ask about the risk assessment, the standards for these events. What were they thinking?
Yeah, and the mayor's response, Miguel Rodriguez, he defended the safety measures, saying it's not normal for this to happen, but in any bull ring, boards can break or unforeseen events can occur. Does that really feel like an adequate response, given what happened? Especially the flimsy description?
Well, it acknowledges something happened, but does it really address the core concern about the barrier itself? Maybe not fully. It prompts the question, what are the proper safety measures when you've got a large, dangerous animal so close to the public, including children?
And the scene afterwards, described as just chaos. People panicking everywhere.
Understandable.
Someone screaming from a balcony, the children, the children. The article mentions over 20 people were knocked down, trampled, or crushed in the panic.
20 people. It paints a really grim picture of widespread panic, doesn't it?
It really does.
And that number. It highlights the secondary dangers too, right? Beyond just the bull itself. In a panicked crowd, trampling, crush injuries, those are major risks. It just underscores how vital proper safety and crowd control are, or should be.
Thankfully, an amateur matador stepped in. Used a pink cape, apparently.
Yes, managed to eventually redirect the bull.
So, brought the immediate terror to an end. But not without cost.
No, definitely not.
At least 3 people needed medical treatment, including a 60-year-old woman.
Yeah.
Crush injuries and goring.
So even after the bull was, contained, serious injuries still happened. And to different people, an older adult included, it just shows how unpredictable these situations can become. The danger wasn't just at that one breach point.
And this incident, as horrific as it is, the article makes it clear it's not really isolated, is it?
No, not at all.
It then kind of zooms out, reminds us that bull runs, similar festivals, they're common in Spain, popular even.
Very popular, yes. And often involve taunting the bulls, which adds another layer.
But this popularity exists alongside a string of, tragic incidents just in the past year.
And when you place this Arcos de la Frontera event in that wider context the article provides, you start to see a worrying pattern. These aren't just freak accidents. There seems to be a recurring risk baked into these traditions.
The list they provide is pretty sobering. A 60-year-old woman died after being gored near Valencia.
Awful.
A 74-year-old man killed by an escaped foal south of Madrid.
Escaped? Wow.
Someone horrifically gored in the scrotum in La Valdiso. And a young man, just 20 years old, died in a bull run last September in El Kizar.
Each one is a tragedy. And together, they really highlight the inherent dangers when people and bulls mix in these festival settings. It makes you question that balance between tradition and safety, especially when it's not if but when these things might happen again.
The article even mentioned Jose Antonio Subis, described as a high-ranking executive. He died after being gored near Valencia back in September 2023. They even detailed the injuries, liver and lung.
Yeah, I saw that.
It just underscores that the risk is serious, and it can impact anyone who happens to be there.
Exactly. That detail about the executive, it reinforces that it's not just about, say, young daredevils taking risks. Anyone in proximity could face serious harm. It's a significant danger.
So this whole event at the Toro de Aleluya festival, particularly because children were involved, it seems to have, understandably, reignited the debate, the one about animal cruelty and public safety in Spain regarding these traditions.
It really has become a focal point, hasn't it? A stark example. You have the vulnerability of the children, the reports of maybe inadequate safety barriers, the bull's reaction. It all combines into this powerful, disturbing narrative. It's bound to intensify scrutiny on these deeply rooted cultural practices.
So considering everything, the tradition, these repeated awful incidents, the different views on safety, on animal welfare, what do you make of it all, the continued presence of these events in Spain? Is this just an unavoidable risk people accept for a cherished cultural practice? Or is there a real pressing need for a fundamental rethink about how they're run, or maybe even if they should continue like this?
Should be stopped or not? Comment your thoughts. Thanks.